I get a shitload of messages and comments from people who just don't seem to be, as my grandfather would say, that boy just ain't right. And he means up here. For example, let us take the free energy cultist named Gavin Palmer 1984. This clown has been leaving bizarre messages on comments of my videos, and every morning it's like discovering a fresh turd on my front porch, you know, and I fire up the old computer and there's another message from this clown. Today he left a message, and I'm going to quote that in full. Quote, "My system may violate your laws of physics, but it does not violate nature. I am not concerned with your laws," unquote. Well, golly, I had no idea that I created the laws of physics. If I had done so, I suppose I would have, you know, modified them a little so that free energy would be available. But my laws of physics? I'd like to know whose law of physics this clown's device obeys. You know, if not my laws of physics, I want to know whose laws of physics this clown's device obeys, so I can go talk to whoever, you know, made those laws of physics and correct the person so that this device stops working, you know, I guess. I have pointed out to this clown a great many times, and it looks like several other people have also, that, quote, his idea, which he is calling a discovery, is an ancient one. This clown believes that his device will run off of gravity and buoyancy in water and apparently compressed air. Well, that's an ancient idea. There's excellent books on the subject of perpetual motions, and this clown's idea is in that book. I'll put the URL for that book up here. Why is it these idiot fucktards don't bother reading on the history of their ideas? I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, none of these clowns come up with new ideas. Every single one of the ideas that they come up with have already been thought of, often hundreds of thousands of times over many centuries, if not millennia. I don't get it. You know, there was a time before the 1800s when scientists were not aware of the second law of thermodynamics, for example, or the conservation of energy, or, you know, even the conservation of motion. You know, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. It took Newton to come along and do that. All of these physical laws that have been discovered, you know, centuries ago, apply to these clowns' devices. There's not a set of laws of physics that apply to one group of people and not to other groups of people. These laws have existed for over 13 billion years old, long before humanity existed, long before the Earth existed. To say that I personally have a completely different set of laws of physics than other people? What this clown is describing in his video is a basic piston device that has been thought of many hundreds and hundreds of times. It is not a new idea. Yes, one can put the piston assembly in a gravity well, and then that piston will have the potential energy called the energy of position. This, of course, requires a human hand to provide the energy to place that device in the gravity well. The mass from the energy of position falls into a bucket, and then the bucket is filled with water, and then the latches on top are removed, and then the device is floated on top of the water. And ta-da! Magically, the piston device is back at the top of the energy of position, and we can start the cycle all over again. Heh. And that just fucking cracks me up. First off, where's the energy going to come from to move those latches to allow the piston assembly to rise through buoyancy, to move back to the energy of position and to its original state? Also, there's another major flaw. You know, when a mass supplants another mass, it requires the exact same amount of energy minus the friction involved. Friction, you fucktard! It's called friction! Anyhow, so this idiot device, as all the hundreds that have followed that are based on the exact same principle, will immediately go to equilibrium and stay there. It requires a source of energy to get it back up to its original energy of position and recycle. Why the fuck is this not obvious to these retards is fucking beyond me.